Hello everyone, Glenda Mollet here, and welcome to my craft room today. I'm going to show you how I created this stunning card that I was inspired to create by a card I saw by Christine Reed. Isn't that awesome? And it's stunning in its simplicity, let me tell you, and it's so easy to do. Okay, so to create this card, you need a basic black card base, 8.5 by 5.5, a piece of whisper white for the inside, or basic white for the inside, that's 4 by 4 1/8, a piece of pale papaya that is 4 by 1/2, and a piece of polished pink that's 4 by 1. There it is. Oh no, apparently, I didn't cut one. Eek. Oh well, that means I might not have put it in my kits for the, it's okay. I've got this under control. Okay, for the front, we're using shimmery white, 5 1/4 by 3.5. Basic black, 3 3/4 by 5 to do the frame out of. Polished pink, 1/2 by 5 1/4. Pale papaya, 1 by 5 1/4. And then 3 3/4 by 3 1/4 for the sentiment, and some loose flower flourishes to finish it off. Okay, so here's the outside. It has scalloped and it has a strip. This is pale papaya, that's polished pink. And then if you open the inside, there's pale papaya and polished pink up there. So that's the piece I don't have. So I'm just going to go and get just use that piece and I will cut it down. Okay, so I'm going to start with creating the front of the card, and it's done with shimmery white cardstock, blending brushes and ink, and then I'm going to spritz some water over top of it. Just let me get my dirty paper out here because this makes quite the mess. Let me tell you. Okay, so that's there and safely out of the way for now. I'm going to start with pale papaya. For this one, it doesn't really matter which one you start with. Just one end is you use one color and the other end you use the other color. So you need to put lots of ink on this. So I'm not worried right now about starting it off of the page and carrying on because it's going to get really dark and that all those imperfections are going to be covered anyways. So it's just a matter of adding layers of color. And don't just start off to the side, you have to start in the middle as well. Otherwise you won't get the color deep enough. Now if you want lighter color, by all means do lighter color. It's pretty in light or dark. I just envisioned this card really, really dark. There, so you see it's getting there. So now I'm starting to do a little bit of fine tuning and just starting off of the page and letting it get darker and darker right at the bottom. Now, right in the middle, I'm going to do some more. There we go. I think that's good enough. It's going to go right here just to feather it a bit so that it blends nicely with the polished pink. Okay, so we'll put that down. So to do this technique, any color will do, but you want to make sure you have quite juicy ink pads or it will take you forever to do. So this is polished pink. And once again, just starting and bringing the color in and feathering it up. Now, because this is shimmery white, it's going to react a little bit different than if you did it with basic white, because this just allows better ink moving. See, it's starting to get dark there now. I wanted this to be kind of like a sunset. And the reason you do this first is because we have to spritz it and then we have to let it dry. Let's put some right here in the middle. Now, go in around the edges and get some really dark stuff right around the edges. There, that will do. Do some feathering in the middle. Now, I'm going to go and get my mat that I use. So this is just a cutting mat that I picked up from the dollar store, just to protect my surface. I'm using a spritzer with just plain water in it. And when I do this, I always start by spritzing into my garbage can, just to make sure that it's not clogged. And then you want to be really high up off your table. You want to be about a foot or so, because the higher you go, the finer your mist is. So I'm just going to spritz. And then just let the water do its work. Can you see how it kind of lifts up? And all I did was 3 really brief spurts. So I'm going to put that off to the side now and let that dry. And I will go ahead and do some die cutting. So much for my brand new plates that I recently put on here. Oh, I forgot the stitched rectangle dies. Oh, I have to go and get those. So I'm going to use, I believe it's that one. Yep. Basic black piece. And we're going to layer that on there. And stitched rectangle number 4. And we're going to put that on there at a jaunty angle. Now, if you don't want to have a jaunty angle and you don't like the look of the uneven frame, then make it even. Does not matter. It's your card. So maybe I'll do that with this one because I've already done the jaunty angle. I'll show you the difference between the two. Okay, so got that nicely lined up, and I'm just going to tilt it a bit to run it through the machine. And we'll cut out those frames, and you could do both at the same time. It works very nicely. Okay, so get rid of that piece. Pop that piece out, and that we'll save for another project. And there's our frame. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to use that die. And I'm going to get, now you can cut these together. That's the really cool thing. You can cut 2 of them at the same time. So this is the side one, and this is going to be for the inside. So I'm just going to line this up Now I did cut it kind of like that because that's the way it seemed to fit the best on my cardstock. So I'm just going to tape that down so it doesn't move. And then I'm going to take this one. And this one is quite long, and I only need a short amount, but I'm not going, whoops, shoot. That was useless. I'm not going to cut it any shorter. Okay, I'm not going to try and do two at once because the piece in your kit, well, I guess I could do that. I haven't done the kits yet, so I could do that. Okay, let's get this attached here to the cardstock. Maybe if we move this one over to there, get more grabbing there. All right, now this one will just line up like that, and I'm going to run those both through at the same time. I was really excited when I discovered that you can do this with this die. So you just pop off the top. Those you can use for waves. Wouldn't those be cool waves on a with the whale? Oh my God, that would be adorable. Just make them a little bit longer. Oh. You know, sometimes I come up with these ideas. Okay, so now we have the piece for the front and the piece for the inside, and we have the frame, and we have the inside piece yet to do. So I'm going to grab the inside. Now this is 4 by 4 1/8. So you're going to make sure which way you're doing it because you want it to be that way, not this way. Well, maybe I didn't cut it 4 1/8. Maybe I cut it 4 by 4 to make it easier. That's 4. I did too. Okay, so never mind. It's 4 by 4. I'm going to have to change that on my instructions. And I'm just going to take some pale papaya. I think I'll do polished pink on this one because I did pale papaya on that one. So we'll do some polished pink, just starting from the bottom and doing a little bit of blending up to the top. And you just put as much color on here as you want and put it up as high as you want. So that's what I did on that one. And it turned out really well. Because then I spritzed it like I did the other one. There we go. I think that's enough. We'll bring the other one back in, and it's dry enough to use now. See the lovely splotches on there? Oh, I love it. We'll do the same thing for this one. Spritz first into the garbage can. Be far away. Give it a couple of good splurches. And set that off to dry. Okay, so step 1 is to attach the piece of polished pink. Oh, I got water on my table here, so let me clean it up. Uh-oh. Apparently I didn't spritz where I was supposed to. Oh, and you know what I did forget to do though? Can't put it on yet. I want to take Wink of Stella. Oh, I don't have to. Oh no, never mind. I forgot. Not yet. Sorry, I'm confusing myself. I thought I had done the flick on here, but then I remembered that this is shimmery white, so I don't have to. Hello, my name is Blondie. Okay, so I'm going to put the flower on right in the center, but I don't want it to hang down past the edge of my frame. So I'm just going to get a Post-it note. Figure out where I'm going to put my frame. Right there. And then I'll just move it down a bit. Put a little mark there. And that's where I'm going to put the Post-it note. And we will ink this up. Get myself organized off screen here with all my bits and pieces hanging around. One day I'll have a real recording studio. There we are. Ink that up and stamp it right in the center. Like that. Remove the Post-it note. And I'm just going to erase that mark. Now it should be covered up, but I'm not going to take any chances. Okay, so now we're going to attach the piece of polished pink to the back. And I'm going to leave about 1/4 of an inch, like that. Uh-oh. There's adhesive. Okay, now put adhesive on again. Oh yeah, that one ran out. Adhesive on. Grab my pale papaya scalloped one, and I'm going to go right up against the scallops on that, the bottom there, and line it up at the top and the bottom. There we go. Now this can go right onto the card base. This is my one that I've been struggling with to work properly. Keeps dying on me. Try the proper way to end it. We'll see what happens. Okay, so now this goes on here like that. Before I push it down, make sure it's straightish. There we go. Now, you can either use dimensionals or, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Pardon me. You can either use dimensionals or foam strips on here. But I wanted the frame to be up. And if you're doing the crooked frame, you have to use little bits. You can't get the full dimensionals on some of the areas when you do the crooked frame because of how close it comes to the corners. But that's okay. Oops. That one stuck to my finger. There we go. Now I'll put that on here like that. Is that not stunning? I love it. I love it. Now you could put this on here crooked too. Oh yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to. I just have to get the liners off here. Then we'll put this on there crooked. When I put the crooked one on, I made it straight, the inside piece, straight to the card. so that the frame was cockeyed. But this works too. See, and I'll just put that on there like that. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, the piece for the sentiment. And get my memento out again. Now the sentiment comes from, I never did show you what I'm using, the Artistically Inked stamp set. And I'm using the Color and Contour stamp set as well as the Scalloped Contours Dies. I like this sentiment because it's straight and you can cut it out. You can cut it down. I don't know why that did what it did, but kind of blurred on the H. That's better. Okay, let's put this on there, and then I'm just going to get my scissors, and I'm going to hand cut the sentiment out, just like that. And then down the top. This just saves having to cut a little itty bitty teeny tiny piece and then try to get your sentiment on there straight. And cut that right there. Then we'll cut this right there. A bit of that. Okay, so it's going to sit there like that. So this side needs to be up on dimensionals because it's going to hang out on the edge of the frame. A little bit of adhesive on the end, so it hangs out there, maybe. Okay. Now put the birthday on first, because I know where I want it to be. High enough so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to make this straight. I'm not going to go crooked like the frame is. I want it to be straight. So I'll just hold it up and make sure it's straight. There we go. And then we'll do the same with the happy. And put it just above and over a bit. It's difficult to get it straight because there we go, kind of thrown off by the crookedness of the frame. Now, Wink of Stella, I'm just going to go. Now, when you do this, avoid the black lines because Wink of Stella will activate the memento ink and you'll have a black mess. So I'm just kind of dabbing in between the lines. Not that it needs any more bling, but you know, sometimes it just needs to have a little bit more. And a little bit on the leaf. There we go. Now, you probably can't see that too well, but I know it's there. And to attach the flower flourishes, the big ones are okay on glue dots. The little one is not. So I'm just going to put little tiny dots of glue where I want them to be. Maybe. One. There it is. And one up here. Oh, it blurbed. Okay, This one has a blob. Apparently there was something stuck in the end of my glue. There. Now I'm going to set that off to the side to dry while I do the inside. So we need this piece, we need this piece, and we need our other spritzed piece. This one is much lighter than the other one I did. I'm going to stamp the flower inside like I did on that. So I need my dirty paper again. And I'll do the envelope while I've got this out. There we go. And the envelope. Okay, that's it for the stamp. So I can put that away now. Okay. Bring this piece in. And some adhesive on the back of it. I'll just open this up so you can see it. Then I'm going to attach this to this about that far apart, and I'm lining up the edges so it was straight, and then adhesive again, maybe. Okay, now this is where you have to make a decision which way you want to go, and I like it right, because you can go like that and have part pieces on each side, or you can start in the middle. I like it in the middle, but that's just me. There we go. Just cut the excess off. And then I don't like those little sticking up flips right there. Can you see the little thing? I'm just going to slice that off. And the same thing over on this side. There we go. And nobody knows that you cut those little itty bitty chunks off. Okay, put our adhesive. Oh, I'll be so glad when this refill is done. All right, now I've got to be careful because I still have active glue dots on there. And we'll just put this. Oh dear. Uh-oh. Oh well. Apparently I measured that paper on the inside wrong. What does that measure? Probably 5 1/8. No, it's 4. It is 4 5/8. Oh well. This one's going to be different. I will change your kits. There we go. I'll just get my flower flourishes out. Come on. And put them on top of my glue dots. Now, ideally, these glue dots should have stayed long enough to become transparent, but it's okay. This will work. And you can also put rhinestones in the middle as soon as I find them. Oh my gosh, they're way back there. I haven't used them in a while. You can put rhinestones on the inside of the big ones. I'll show you. I'm not going to do it, but I'll show you. See, they fit. They fit. Oh, maybe I will. It does look kind of cool. This the glue hasn't set yet. Oh. Trying to hold it so it doesn't move all over the place. So there we go. There's a rhinestone in the center of that loose flourish. Isn't that pretty? It does add a little bit of height to the card though. So if you don't want height, then don't put these on. Oops. Yeah, it's not quite dry yet from the glue. So there we go. There's our second card. A little bit different than the first. I didn't go quite as dark, and I did something different with the frame. So either way looks awesome. So thank you so much for spending time with me in my craft room today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll hope to see you soon in my craft room. Stampin' Smiles, and bye for now.